morning. Hello. I'm Rachel. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about junk rooms and junk areas. And then as usual, I'm going to go into my own junk room and I'm going to start cleaning it out and getting rid of some more items and just trying to make it into a usable space. Before I jump into my own junk room, I just want to talk to you guys about your junk rooms. I guess kind of discuss the whole phenomenon of junk rooms. They're really a strange thing, and I don't know if they're just an American thing or if it's a thing that's just a human thing or just a messy person thing, I don't know. Yeah, I was raised having a junk room. It's always been a part of my house ever since I was a little kid, as far back as I can remember. Every house that I've lived in has had a junk room, junk drawers, junk corners, just areas that were expected to be junky. And expected that if you didn't know where something went, you just threw it in the junk room. We didn't call it a junk room. It actually had a name, which is kind of funny because it's like we all know that it's really just the junk room. Why didn't we just call it that? But, we called it whatever name I don't even know, thought it was. Like, if it was like intended to be an office but became a junk room, we'd call it the office. Or if it was intended to be a craft room, we'd say like, oh, go ahead and toss it in the craft room. But we're all like, yeah, that's not a craft room. I think the funny thing about it too is that, at least when I was growing up, the junk rooms never became what they should have been. They were never anything more than a junk room. Same with junk drawers. They were always a junk drawer. So that's kind of my hope, is I'm actually trying to break out of that. I don't want to have a junk room anymore. And we all know that the elephant in the room is my garage, and that's clearly like the biggest junk room of all. I promise everybody I'm going to get to my garage. I get people asking all the time, like, when are you gonna do your garage? And I swear I'm going to. I need this weather to warm up a little bit because it's gonna be a big project that involves just pushing stuff out of the garage and sorting through it. It's like 18 degrees today. It's beautiful outside, but it's cold. And I think I need just another couple more weeks to warm it up a little bit so I can get down in there. The junk room that I'm specifically talking about today is my office. I work from home a lot and I sit behind me on my computer here, and it's fine actually. I kind of like moving around my house, but let's be real. That room is supposed to be an office. That room was intended to be an office, and my gosh, I'm gonna get it back. As I said, our junk rooms when I was a kid, they never became anything more than a junk room. They never blossomed into what they could be. The potential was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody ever cared to try to make it more than what it was. So maybe you're already thinking about your own junk areas. If so, I encourage that. Think about what is that room or corner or drawer or whatever it is that is just collecting stuff. And it's collecting stuff. That room has more potential than what it could be. Now think about it as what you want it to be. Is your junk room actually supposed to be a craft room or a workout room or like a game room, or I don't know. There's probably a lot of other types of rooms we could have, and we're just not even thinking about it. So for me, it's, my office. It's the same office where I did in, I don't know what episode it was, maybe episode 6. Essentially, I was working on the closet at one point, but now I'm gonna work on the rest of the room. And I'm gonna make this into an office that I want and can work in every day. I guess that's it. Okay, so that's enough talking for now. Let's go take a look at my junk room and see just how we can transform it into a cool, usable space. Let's go. All right, so I'm just gonna point out a couple things so you guys can see what I'm gonna tackle before I go on my time-lapse mode. Got a cameraman in training here. So I feel like the dog crate area probably has to stay in here, but it certainly doesn't need to be our blanket storage. So I'm not really sure what we're gonna do about that, but hopefully we'll figure that one out. A little bit embarrassed, but this is basically the exact state I left it in when I filmed the video a couple weeks ago. And the only thing that changed was I had brought out a bunch of books. We filled up our book nook, and then I just kind of left it. And I left it because I knew that I needed to tackle it, but I wasn't ready and I didn't know where to get started. And honestly, just today, I am feeling motivated to get this room back and have a place to work. Let's see what I find. And it's the blankets, because I feel like that's something I can just kind of like get through. We We have a lot of blankets, and honestly, I don't know why we have so many. There's nothing wrong with a blanket, so why get rid of it? But these bring absolutely zero joy or happiness or even contentment into my life. I don't like having them. They actually always feel even a little bit dirty, like I would never snuggle up with these blankets. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. There's another blanket that no real joy happening here, so we just find the funniest things in places. Isn't it amazing? When you clean, you just never know what you're gonna find. So this blanket is probably a decent blanket to keep because it's so warm and snuggly. I'm gonna put this in one of our cars as a car blanket because you never know when you need a blanket in the car. Oof. I don't even know what to say about this one. Let's see what the hubby thinks. Oh, so this was my comforter at one point, and I love it, but it actually has a bunch of tears in it. The stuffing's kind of falling out. It's just kind of falling to pieces, so I think I'm just gonna have to get rid of this one. There's really no reason to keep the torn up comforter. This is a blanket that I love, and actually my daughter loves and is probably just forgotten about because it's been sitting on top of our dog crate for a little while. She made it into a fort a while back and it just never got taken down. This was hand sewn and made specifically for my daughter, and we are going to reclaim this and take it away from the dogs and put it back on her bed. And this is a perfectly good baby blanket that we don't need anymore. Some other little roly-poly baby can use this. Oh, the zipper broke. Oh, smells bad. Ew. Oh, it smells like dirty dog. It smells horrible. I'm gonna wash it, see if there's any value in this blanket to me, and we'll go from there. But this thing is like rank. I'm ready for my close-up here. I have now successfully shoved a bunch of boxes back in the closet, which is not my intent to keep them there, but really just to get some space to work. And I'm gonna pull a few things out and show you kind of what I'm finding. Alrighty. Sometimes I don't even know where to start. It lights up with pretty LED lights, and it's a, oh, there's a hair on it. Gross. Well, it's really pretty when it lights up, but I've actually never successfully used this where it added any charm to the room, so they always end up just like sitting down with a bunch of wires exposed, which looks terrible. I'm getting rid of these. This is a beautiful glass orb. I like to hang these in my windows, so I'm gonna keep this. Yeah, it's beautiful, it's hand-blown glass. However, I never realized that I clearly have a thing for stars. Bunch of cute stars. These would be nice to hang like out on a shed or something, but I got so much other stuff waiting in sheds. In fact, I'm looking out the window at 2 sheds filled with outdoor decorations. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put these in the donate pile, and somebody else can use them in their garden. Okie dokie. These are 2, it appears to be some sort of china that is plated in pewter. Decorated in Hong Kong. So they're quite beautiful. They could use a little dusting. I can feel the paint on them, so it's an interesting glaze. It's not like one that you typically see. They're really unique and they're beautiful, but I'm not gonna keep them. I've vowed to keep my surfaces cleaner than they typically are, and things like these just collect stuff. So these are going in the donate pile. I should note to anybody who's interested that my Messy Minimalist Facebook page is actually now going to turn into a temporary spot for me to list items that I have at a very reasonable price for anybody who feels that they really do need them. Now, this is something that is a little bit difficult for me to do because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm encouraging them to collect stuff. That's not my intent anyway. I get so many people who do ask about it, and I'm gonna be honest, I would rather know, A, that they're going into somebody's hands who will love them versus going into potentially a landfill or wherever. A lot of these donate places, I'm learning, don't actually take all the stuff that they get. They end up trashing a lot of it, which is it's just sad, especially when there's unique, interesting items that somebody could love. Anyway, if for some reason that person is you and you see something that I claim I'm going to donate and you're like, oh my God, I love that. I would give that a home. And you really do think you'll give it a home and you're not just going to continue your hoarding and clutter habits, then I will post it on my Facebook page for a reasonable price. And you'll have to cover shipping and I don't know, I'm still figuring it out. Maybe I'll do a PayPal transaction or something, but that is going to be available to you guys, so that way I can feel good about my stuff going to a good home too. Enough about that. That'll be our little experiment. But yeah, okay. On to the next item. Buddha succulent planter holder decorative thing. Something that I showed in a video last time I was working on this room. I now kept it for a couple weeks and I realized like, dang, I haven't put it anywhere that I like. I'm gonna pass this on to a better home. Donate. I have a strange attachment to this lamp, like a strange attachment. It's just a charming piece. It's like I actually get joy when I turn this. I don't know what it is about it. It's super satisfying. And it's even more satisfying when the light is turning on, which it does work. I just obviously please. Anyway, I don't love it enough, so I'm gonna donate it. I don't particularly love snow babies. I think they're cute. I get a little bit somber when I look at things like these because these were gifted to me and I just don't get joy from them. So I'm gonna post these on my Facebook page because Easter is coming up just to see if anybody is interested in them. And if so, then you can grab them there. But other than that, these are going to be donated. Look guys, more keys. Don't know what these keys are for. I wonder how many of my videos I find keys. I probably should have kept the keys and it could have been some like memento of all these videos that I'm doing. Anyway, I'm going to just chuck them because I haven't missed them before and I'm not gonna miss them in the future. This never even made it onto a table in my house since I've owned it. It is an antique. It's a beautiful glass dish. And I'm gonna go ahead and pass this on because I never used it. And it's a bummer. I don't know if you guys are encountering this at all when you go through your items. It feels good to let go of these things, feel them leave my house, but at the same time, there's this small part of me that's always like, you feel really cruddy because you know that you paid money for something and you wonder like, what was I thinking, Why did I buy that? I think about how much I've grown mentally from the person who had to go out and shop all the time, who couldn't go to a new city or go into town without stopping by a store and buying something. It's a sickness, It's scary because I think a lot of us have that issue, but it feels good to be kind of getting over that and, turning over a new leaf. So I think items like this are particularly hard because you purchase this item and you are excited about it. And that excitement, that's what you were purchasing. You were purchasing the feeling of excitement. You weren't necessarily purchasing the item, or at least that's the way I look at it. It's almost like now, in retrospect, I realize like I could care less about this. I was purchasing the thrill of bringing something new into the house. So I'm gonna let that thrill go. In fact, I'm gonna get a new thrill by letting it go. This is a gorgeous belt buckle. Gosh, where did this come from? I don't even know. I have a lot of vintage items, so it's tough for me sometimes to remember where everything came from. It's almost like silver behind it with gold accents and almost like a tiger's eye stone. As I pulled it out, I was like, ooh, can I wear this now? Maybe I'll make it into a belt. I'm not gonna do that. I hardly even wear belts. So this one is going to be donated. Dish. It's actually kind of dirty. I almost hate to show it, but underneath the grime and the hair and the wax, it's really pretty. It's been sitting in a box for a really long time and I'm digging it out now and I'm not feeling the feels, so I'm gonna let this baby go. I have a thing for old scales and I, at one point, fancied myself a collector of them. I have since, over the years, let other ones go. I had kept these ones for a really long time. I don't really need to display them. They're for weighing mail. There's some really cool details on them. I just think they're really neat, but I'm going to donate them because I'm no longer in the business of displaying a bunch of knickknacks. Bye, scales. This is a barbecue sauce that I made a while ago, 5 or 6, whoa, 8 years ago. Wow, okay. Yep, bye-bye. There we go. Oh, that is sad, 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 sad. Well, I was going to part with this because I just didn't want it, but now I just busted it, so I guess I'm just gonna throw it away. Well, I got to the end of my video. I kind of rushed my ending here because I ran out of time. I did manage to finally reclaim my desk. So pretty soon here, we're gonna go ahead and put some stuff on the walls, paint the walls, and then I will eventually get to all the darn stuff in my closet. I can't believe that I just can't seem to get through that closet. The room is now cleaned out of quite a bit of clutter. Hopefully I'll get to come back to this room and finally start working in this room on a daily basis. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please subscribe, refer it to some friends if you think maybe it'll encourage them as well. And yeah, I had a great time today. I hope you did too, and I will see you next time. And don't forget, I am releasing some bonus footage of a different midnight purge session that I had. So this week I will have a bonus video. Thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you later.